I mean, kinda, yeah. Gender bends tend to be transphobic mostly because cis artists don't seem to know how to make it not transphobic. They don't care about the existence of trans people to even bother. And when they do care, we get what cis swaps, which are literally the same thing, but now explicitly absent of trans people. So how do we address the transphobia? Well, first, why is it transphobic? Gender bends are heavily based on the idea that the character has the correct sexual characteristics that our sexist society expects of them, and then they're given the opposite sexual characteristics. A cis man becomes a cis woman, and vice versa. Transgender and intersex people don't exist in this discussion, as the view of gender, as well as sex, is strictly binary. Same as how we aren't allowed to exist in society either. But is this all gender bends can do? Just regurgitate sexism, but for quirky art? Well, it's more than just pictures, sometimes there's a story explanation. There are two types of gender bend plots: alternate universes, like in Adventure Time, and transformations, like in Futurama. Each has their own narrative possibilities. If a character was born a different gender or sex since they were born, how would their life be different? Would a macho man have become a masculine woman or a conventional lady? Depends. Is she born into a society that would accept a burly woman? Did she have to do hard work which led her to being rough and tumble? Or would she have been coerced into conforming to gender norms? These questions also say a lot about the original male version, too. And if it's a transformation that occurs within the timeline of the story, how does the character react to it? Most stories have a comedic moment of surprise, and then the character just goes along with it to experience what it's like. Would you, dear viewer, completely change your gender simply because your body changed? No resistance, no dysphoria. And how much of your body is changing since biological sex isn't binary? Would your height and voice be affected even though short cis men and low pitched cis women exist? What about hair length? That usually changes even though it has nothing to do with that biological sex. Why? Is cis sexism that powerful? The biggest thing to me is choice. You could give your female version of a character longer hair than her male version, and maybe it's because she chose it, but it's more likely it's because of the reductive idea that long hair is feminine. But by having that character be a trans woman, growing her hair out has to be something she chose, even if both are fictional people that lack autonomy. By paying attention to choice, it says a lot more about the creators than the characters, like comparing the original and SWAT Wanda and Sylvia. Makes you realize how this show has a lot of variety with its female characters, with the most girly character being Wander. Though arguments could be made about how much of these jokes are the wacky situations that lead to him dressing up, and how much are man in a dress. In all honesty, it seems like gender is something that cis people dictate for you to fit their own narratives. That's a girl. I know what girls are for. It's a man. You know what men are like. I can be seen as a cis woman who never grew out of her tomboy phase, or a cis man with a baby face, at best. How I feel doesn't matter, and shouldn't fandom be about exploring experiences beyond the mainstream? Some trans people say that gender bends helped them explore gender, which is why I can't call it completely transphobic. Another potential use is adding more female perspectives to a male dominated story. Because, yeah, things are getting better, but the Bechdel test is still a low bar not all recent stories pass. But that's not what the vast majority of gender bends do. Like, practically everything I've ever seen is Chipette levels of cis nonsense. Just give guys big boobs, long hair, and hips to make girl, and the girls become anime twinks and twunks. There's no challenge to societal norms. Cis artists are too concerned with making a character or ship that involves a gender they aren't attracted to into one that they are. Like, wouldn't it be sexy if a hot person of the gender I'm attracted to kissed another person of that same gender? Or what if these two guys I think are sexy could have kids in a way that replicates the nuclear family? Like, if the girl in the relationship got pregnant, like a girl. You know, because family is only about having biological kids. Just how, like, I'm a biological female no matter how much I lie to myself. Speaking of which, see that week's HRT? Yeah, that's what I've been busy with lately. So for any reoccurring viewers or my 20 subscribers, that's something to look forward to in future videos. Let's see when second puberty makes my voice drop. I'm hoping soon. Truth be told, I've seen fewer and fewer gender bends recently, but I was recommended a short for a gender bend of a Pelabos dude a few months ago, and I don't watch that series, so it was just that popular to show up. It was the usual just give him boobs types too. Is this fun for you guys? Nothing better to do with a character? I don't know, wouldn't it be fun to wonder how trans or intersex people would function in gender bends? Would some characters try to stay the same and present their old gender regardless of a sex change? Like, even as a trans man, I don't want everything a cis man is supposed to have. Basically, this video was a cry for more transgender representation, so it's not the responsibility of trans fans to remind cis people we exist, which makes us vulnerable to harassment from TERFs. Also, I'm tired of Mulan stories. A cis girl disguises herself as a cis guy, but she's still a girl and will go back to being a girl, usually after being revealed to actually be a girl. Read Monstrous Regiment instead. Comment, like, subscribe. Bye.